Hello and welcome back to the Single Malt Review. It was always going to happen eventually, so apologies for this one. If you can't detect this blessedly small bottle, what have we got here, Dave? I move this a bit closer.
It is something of a classic. It is Southern Comfort. Long ago, in late 2017, we looked at Drambuie, the classic Scotch whisky liqueur. So here we have what I could supposedly call its American counterpart, which is an American whisky liqueur.
Comfort, the spirit of New Orleans, which I wasn't actually cognizant of that connection. But yeah, Southern Comfort, what could only be described as a hangover cure in reverse. Not a liquor of profoundly high repute, but a pretty ubiquitous one nonetheless.
Also one that stood the test of time. Was it 1870 odd this came on the market?
It's pretty old. It's certainly from the 18th century somewhere. 19th, I suppose. This was news to me as well. It comes in multiple different proofs, strengths. This one is 30%. You can get one that's even weaker at 42%. Well, 42 proof, 25% ABV. And you can get one that's all the way 100 proof, 50% ABV Southern Comfort if you really needed to go there. I don't know necessarily why you would.
This is in fact manufactured in Canada on behalf of the New Orleans-based company itself.
And as we were doing our hardcore Southern Comfort research in 5 minutes before we did the video, it was news to me that Southern Comfort in its previous iterations, in really all the years it was produced in modern times at any rate, pre-2017, they made it with raw alcohol, which maybe shouldn't have surprised me. And there was a little dollop of whiskey in there for flavour. As if my opinion of it couldn't have gotten any lower, but Sazerac have recently bought it from Brown-Forman, and they have whiskey heroes that they are. They have restored.
They went back to basics, went back to the original recipe, more or less, and have begun using whiskey as a base spirit as of 2017. So,
but this is conspicuously made in Canada, so I think it's Canadian whiskey that's gone in here as the base spirit. We could be dealing with some Canadian Club or the like. We'd have to look up what Canadian holdings Sazerac has.
However, they do spell whiskey with an EY on there, and Canada uses the conventional spelling with just a Y.
Yeah.
Anyway, there is some manner of North American whiskey, and also, what we got, there's, I think, citrus zest, orange possibly?
Yes, there's orange, lemon zest, clove, cinnamon. How many of these are real and how many of them are synthesized these days? I really don't know. But we probably can't put it off any longer. We have to... Oh yes,
so the common artificial cinnamon flavour causes some degree of medical strife for you, but
I think such
small quantities we should be fine.
I have drunk this in my good grief. I have drunk this in my distant past and nothing bad happened. So I think if there is that particular compound, it's on low enough levels.
Yeah, maybe near appropriate desire for an authentic whiskey liqueur, they may have gone for natural flavours as far as possible.
Maybe they have. Oh, good.
Blimey, that's. Okay, I'm not thinking there's too much natural flavouring in there. There's some probably, but...
How to even describe this? It's like... What is that? It's like smelling a gummy bear.
Yeah, that's
are you getting gummy bears out of this?
Yeah, a bit of the old Haribo gummy bärchen. For those who know their German confections. Yes, if you... Man. Yeah, concentrated fruit juices can give you that kind of aroma when they're used in a sweet confection. So, wow.
Yeah, I mean, I'll admit I have not caught up with Southern Comfort in realistically more than a decade. I probably last drank this in desperation when I was about 18 or something, and I don't remember it tasting like like soft candy then. Yeah. I thought it was a bit more reminiscent of whiskey, but that is so weird. How much of a bag of actual, honest-to-goodness gummy bears that...
I have encountered, I think someone, possibly even my wife, as an experiment, inserted a number of gummy bears into a small bottle of vodka and left them there for a number of months to let science ensue. The result was a multi-hued and quite aromatic, I'll call it liqueur for want of a better word. And this is not too dissimilar from that.
Yeah, weird.
Anyway.
Weird. All right, so gummy bears on the nose, box ticked. Let's see what it tastes like.
That's not wholly unpleasant. That is outlandishly sweet
It is
and extremely artificial.
Really sweet, and it's
there goes that. Yep, there's artificial cinnamon in there in abundance. The finish is pure fireball whiskey nonsense, fake cinnamon burn. But on the way to that, yeah, there's. I was going to say there's identifiable amounts of whiskey in there, but in hindsight, no, I can't actually be sure if it actually tastes of real whiskey. This could be just a. I wouldn't even know if this was a pure grain spirit.
Yeah, I don't know. It's astonishing in that they've created a 30% ABV, 60 proof concoction here that somehow still manages to burn on the way down. That's really, that's the science right there. Needless to say, I don't like it. It's sweet, it's domineeringly sweet, but it's not a nice sweetness. We did Drambuie, as we discovered more than a year ago now, and that sweetness is derived from honey. So it's a bit more identifiable, and it's a bit real. This has the spectre of high fructose corn syrup about it.
And we met before in the Jack Daniels.
Yes, and I believe I likened
concoction.
that to McDonald's hotcake syrup, which is a tasting note I stand behind. This one is not that bad. It certainly doesn't taste like McDonald's anything. No. It does not.
It's not Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. It doesn't though taste like what I think of when I think of a spiced and citrus-infused American whiskey liqueur. Those words have no real connection to what we're tasting here.
It's really... There are flavourings in there, but it's so obnoxiously sweet that it's really difficult to really hone in, if you could even be bothered honing in on the more individual flavourings there. I'm trying to picture this with a lot of ice, and the prospect gets more appealing under that sort of scenario. I still don't know if I'd even want this. I don't know. I mean, obviously this is a drink for me. This is not a drink for either of us.
No.
I don't even know. Where did this come from? Where did you find this?
I was perusing the bottle stores looking for just something that was accessible, available in small quantities, as in small bottles, which you could try just as a one-off. And I realised, Southern Comfort. It's a classic. It's outside our normal milieu. It's a bit different from what we usually try.
I think what Dave is trying to say is that this is his fault.
Pretty much, yep. I accept responsibility.
Dave did this. Yeah. I'm trying to think of a positive thing to say about it. If you like sugar, and some people do,
if you wanted to do shots at a 21st party or something, then you could do arguably worse than Southern Comfort. You would mix it into a decent cocktail. I know, maybe use it to make the frosting, the icing for a rich chocolate brownie, maybe? I do a bit of baking, and I can imagine using this for a brownie. I don't know if I'd want to inflict that on a brownie.
I just don't think any part of the nose is good. I think that the taste's actually better than it smells, because it smells just so pungently. I cannot get over these gummy bears thing.
If it at least tasted like it had natural flavourings in there, it may do for all we know, but it does not taste of it. There's it's an overwhelmingly artificial flavour profile to it that I can't imagine just synthesised esters pumped into some corn syrup and a splash of American whiskey.
I mean, it's something I can be liberatingly, wholeheartedly negative about. And that's probably all I really need to. I don't need to circle the drain on this one any more times. I'm probably just ready to go down the hole.
We didn't give scores to Drambuie.
No, we didn't. We don't really have a liqueur category. I think this is probably one to miss. I think anyone watching our channel is probably into whiskey, and anyone into whiskey, I think, should be... No, I don't think this is the drink for them. I think this is probably for people who are into like RTDs, vodka mixes, Coke mixes, sweet things. People that need sugar in order to sort of bite down that alcohol as means to an end. I think this is probably what Southern Comfort was all along.
I mean, there may be people who are American whiskey liqueur connoisseurs. If you're a whiskey liqueur connoisseur, then that is awesome. You do you. But probably our opinion is basically worthless to someone who's into that sort of thing.
Well, I don't know. Can't wait for the Southern Comfort apologists to emerge from the comments. But hey, do your worst. We're ready. I will honestly answer as many of them as I can, unless they're too silly, in which case I'll just leave them there. But anyway,
Southern Comfort, it exists. We've tried it.
Catch us next time.